Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I think it's Sunday. Hope you guys are doing well. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just getting some stuff set up. Okay, it looks like the Alright, I was worried. Sorry, I was worried the audio wasn't going to transfer over, but it looks like it is, so we're good. So, how is everybody doing today? I hope doing well. It is Sunday, right? Like, I didn't just hallucinate that? Hold on. I will have an answer for us shortly. It is Sunday. Yeah, happy Sunday. How's everybody doing today? Doing well, I hope. Oh, my stomach is growling, which is weird because I just ate. Maybe, like, it's... When I say I just ate, I mean, like, I just ate before I started streaming. So maybe my brain hasn't been able to register that, I've eaten. And so it thinks that, like... I don't know, it thinks that, like... See, can you hear that? That's my stomach growling. Maybe it thinks, I don't know, maybe it thinks that I haven't eaten yet? I don't know. I don't know, it's weird. I had well, it's that time of the year, so of course I had a McRib, because the McRib is back, in case you guys weren't aware of that. Not sponsored, by the way, just, that would be nice if I was. Oh man, if I could get sponsored by, like, McDonald's, that would be awesome. If it was Wednesday, I would cry. Because if it was Wednesday, wouldn't that mean... See, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, no, it wouldn't be Christmas Eve. It would be the day before Christmas Eve. That would be very sad. Well, I wouldn't be sad so much. I mean, I'm not doing anything for Christmas or Christmas Eve. So, I may actually, I'm planning on, maybe streaming that day? I don't know. It'll just depend. So, we'll just figure it out as we go, I guess. I imagine a lot of people, especially those of you who live in the United States like I do, probably don't have normal Christmas plans because of, you know, the way that the world is right now. Do I like egg rolls? I love egg rolls. I haven't had an egg roll in probably forever. Well, I mean, that's not a good... that is not a good estimate of time. I haven't had egg rolls in probably like 2 years, or an egg roll in like 2 years. It's weird because, like, I specifically remember that, like, once upon a time, anytime you'd order from like a Chinese restaurant, like, they would just like include egg rolls in your meal. It doesn't seem like that's the case anymore though. I can't even remember the last time they just, like, included an egg roll with my meal. It's already Sunday. Or it's already Monday for you. Yeah, that do be how it is sometimes. Some of y'all be living in the future. Oh, I just realized. Oh, my snow overlay is working. Okay, that was the thing that I wasn't sure if it was going to mess up the whole stream. And it does not appear that it did, so it looks like we did a good job. Yeah, you have to ask for egg rolls now. Like, you have to order them. It used to be, maybe I'm just misremembering it, but, like, I specifically used to remember them just coming with the food. I don't know. Maybe they don't anymore. Maybe that's not a thing anymore. Although, personally, I prefer crab rangoons. There's a Chinese food place near me that I order directly from them instead of like door dashing. And oh my gosh, they have hands down the best crab rangoons I have ever had in my entire life. Like, I'm having flashbacks, and I feel like I went on this rant in the last stream. But, like, seriously, they have the best crab rangoons that I've ever had. And it's not like because they use real crab or anything. They definitely use fake crab, and I don't know how they make their crab rangoons taste so good. The only thing I can think of is, like, they just dead-ass mix sugar into the cream cheese. Because it's definitely just fake crab and cream cheese, but there's like something about it that tastes so much better than any other crab rangoon I've ever had. And I guess it is probably that they mix just sugar into the cream cheese, but it's so good. Do I watch anime? Yeah, I love anime. Been watching anime since I was like 9 years old, which that's a while. That's a long time. In fact, I've been kind of obsessed recently. I've been watching a lot of anime recently. Well, I've been working, like getting stuff done. And I finished a bunch of series. Well, I mean, I'm like caught up on a bunch of series because some things are, you know, like just season 1. But I recently watched, I'm trying to think of all of them. I watched season 1 of Promised Neverland. I started Vinland Saga. I just finished season 1 of Great Pretender on Netflix, and I'm starting season 2 now. I'm surprised how much I love that show. I wasn't expecting to like it all that much, and I really, really like it. So I'm watching that right now. I'm trying to think of what else. Have I seen Spice and Wolf? Yeah, Spice and Wolf was one of the first animes that I ever really got into, really, really got into. One of my first cosplays was actually Holo from Spice and Wolf. I love Spice and Wolf. It's one of my classic comfort animes. I know I've seen some other stuff recently. Promised Neverland I really, really like too. So there's Promised Neverland. I rewatched Magical Girl Raising Project for the 4th time. Because I love that series. I considered rewatching Puella Magi Madoka Magica again because it's been quite some time. I've been watching the Higurashi new series. It's not really a remake. It's like a spiritual successor, I would say. And I've been enjoying that because I love the original Higurashi. What else have I been watching? It's like when when I go to talk to people about things I've been doing or watching, I forget everything that I've done in the last 6 months. I've not seen My Next Life as a Villainess, but it looks really good. I really like the art style. My favorite type of anime? It just depends. It really isn't even a matter of a type of anime per se. It's more so just if I like the series or not. Because there's some shonen anime that I like, there's some shoujo anime I like, there's some slice of life anime I like, there's some horror I like. But there are also series in all of those categories that I don't like. So it really just depends on the series. Oh, that's the other one that okay. So people have been telling me for years to watch this show, and I never did because I was like, oh, it looks kind of dumb. It looks stupid. It looks like a normie anime. And it looks like a basic anime. And I didn't watch it. And then I watched it, and now I take back everything I said, and I love it, is Assassination Classroom. I decided I would give it a try because it kept popping up on my suggested list. And I was like, okay, I've gone through my entire list. I guess I will give it a try. And oh my god, I love Assassination Classroom. It's so wholesome. I had no idea it was going to be so wholesome. I thought it was going to be super, super, super edgy. I thought it was going to be a super edgelord anime. We're like, oh, the kids have to try and assassinate their teacher, but it's so pure and wholesome and funny. Oh my god, like I love it. I love it so much. And like Karma is like my baby. I would die for Karma. I love him so much. But yeah, I am really enjoying Assassination Classroom like quite a bit. What's a good anime to make you cry? I'm trying to think. Well, Clannad is like the ideal crying anime. I'm trying to think. I was just crying at an anime the other day. I'm trying to remember what it was. Give me a second. I think I got a little bit misty-eyed at Vinland Saga. No spoilers. I won't say what made me teary-eyed, but what else? There was something just recently that made me like legitimately cry. Great Pretender has made me misty-eyed a few times. Oh, that's another anime I've watched recently that I really like. Is Dorohedoro on Netflix. That one I didn't watch like super recently. I watched it like probably 4 or 5 months ago. But yeah. I watched Your Name this year. That kind of made me a little bit sad. I don't remember if I cried though. Angel Beats is very sad, but it's been so long since I watched that show. I don't even remember what made me sad about it. I think it was the ending. I'm trying to think. What was it? That wasn't even the one that made me cry, because there was one recently where I was just dead ass ugly crying. What was it? Was it I don't think it was Assassination Classroom. Although, I mean, well, no spoilers in case anybody hasn't watched Assassination Classroom, but like, the scene in, I think it's season 2 of Assassination Classroom, where, they're fighting the main antagonist in the final battle, and Nagisa thinks that all of his, classmates are dead. That got to me. I don't remember whether I cried or not, but it did make me sad. I've not seen the ending of Assassination Classroom yet, so don't spoil it for me. I think I'm only on I think I just started season 3. I don't know. It doesn't really clearly indicate where the season ends on Hulu, so I'm not sure. I hear, to be quite honest, the only thing I've heard about Assassination Classroom's ending is that everybody hated the ending. So I've already kind of emotionally prepared myself for the ending to not be very good. But hopefully that's not too much terribly the case. That would make me very sad if it was. But I have mentally prepared myself. I'm gonna be honest, there's not too many series that I watch that just in general, not even just anime, but series and movies, I don't like the endings for most things. Not to be cliche, but Game of Thrones was one of them. I was into Game of Thrones, and the Game of Thrones ending came out. I was really upset. I just prepare and most of the American Horror Story seasons have had bad endings, but I love the show, so I just kind of prepare myself for not liking the endings of things, you know? I don't think I cried for Elfen Lied, but that was a long time ago. I did, animes I've watched a long time ago that made me cry. Gurren Lagann definitely made me cry. In several various parts. I don't think I ever cried during Bleach. Oh, I cried during Demon Slayer for sure, but not a sad cry, just a really emotional cry. Again, I'm gonna try and avoid posting direct spoilers, but that one fight scene in Demon Slayer, that quote-unquote that fight scene, where it's Nezuko and Tanjiro against the spider guy, and they use that combo attack, and the music is super swells, and it's a super emotional moment that made me cry. But like I said, it wasn't a sad cry, it was a just overwhelmed with emotion cry. I find that when I cry at stuff, because I cry at movie trailers all the time. When we used to go to the theater, when the theater used to be a thing, I cry at movie trailers all the time because I think I'm very easily susceptible to music. And so like trailers generally have that big swelling music that goes with it. And it's usually like very emotional, and like I'm very susceptible to that. So when the music is very like persuasive, I'm very inclined to be moved by it, whether it's good crying, bad crying. I don't really cry like at other stuff. Sorry, I have the hiccups. But I'm very susceptible to like commercials and trailers because they use music, and that really gets to me. Even if it's just like a motivational, like a sports movie or something, and like they're getting hyped up for a game, and like the music is swelling, and it's like supposed to be like an inspiring moment, that like always makes me teary-eyed. I don't know why. But I am very susceptible to that. I'm trying to think. Oh, I watched I think I finished season 1 of Tower of God. I liked that a lot. I like the different art style. I can already tell. I haven't read the manga, but I can already tell that I hate Rachel. I know everybody hates Rachel, and I don't know why yet. But I could tell from episode 1 that I hated Rachel, and I feel like it's going to be vindicated when it eventually catches up to the manga. Because she already seems pretty terrible. I've not seen Black Clover. It's on one of my lists, but honestly, like, I'm a little bit, I don't know what the word would be. I'm not tired or sick of them, but, like, there's been so many, like, shonen, like, adventure animes and isekais recently that, like, I don't know, I'm kind of full on them, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not hungry for them right now. Like, they don't sound good. I'm not in the mood for them at this exact moment. I'm trying to think. There's also I started watching, I think I'm like 7 episodes or 8 episodes into Rising of a Shield Hero as well. I really like the art style. I'm not gonna lie, like, if you've seen Rising of a Shield Hero, you know kind of what I'm talking about. I don't know, man. Like, the first 3 or 4 episodes, like, it was like, I don't know. Like, it's a thing where, like, the tone they were going for, it's so depressing. The first couple of episodes of Shield Hero are, like, so depressing that it's like, I don't know if I want to keep watching this. Like, it's like Devilman Crybaby. If you've seen Devilman Crybaby, I always tell people, because I watched all of Devilman Crybaby, and I'm like, it's a great series. It's an amazing series, but you will feel like garbage after you watch it. There's no, like, usually when there's, like, hardships or, like, bad things happening in an anime or anything, in any series or any movie, there's usually, like, something at some point that, like, gives you some, like, I don't know, payoff, I guess? I don't know how to describe it. Like, usually when it puts you through, like, a lot of emotional distress, like, there's some payoff, and when there's not, people get upset or they don't want to watch anymore. It's like that one episode, that notorious episode of the season premiere of one of the seasons of Walking Dead, where they killed those 2 main characters in the very first episode, and then, like, there was, like, no emotional payoff for that. But, like, when there's an emotional payoff for it, or, like, some vindication, it, like, gives you that hit of serotonin, and you're like, oh, this was worth it. It sucks that the bad thing happened, but we got through it, and you feel like you've overcome something with the main characters. But, like, when there's not a payoff for it, and it's just bad, it gets tiring to watch. And that's, like, when I tell people to watch Devilman Crybaby, I'm like, but just know there's no payoff. There's no payoff. Like, when you're watching it, like, you're never gonna feel good during it. Like, there's no, the hero does not overcome the bad guys. Like, nothing is vindicated. Just know that you will feel bad. Every episode will make you feel bad, but it is still a really good series. And that's how I kind of felt through, like, the first couple episodes of Shield Hero, is I'm like, I'm really surprised people stuck with this show, because, like, the first 3 or 4 episodes, I'm like, I feel like garbage after watching this. Like, this is just making me feel really, like, sad and depressed, and, like, it's not getting any better, and, like, the main character's never vindicated, and I don't like that. But I did stick with it, and I think I've gotten past, like, the quote-unquote the hardest part, and things are starting to pick back up again. But yeah, so that's kind of where I am with that series. I have heard of Yashahime. I was never a fan of Inuyasha. So Yashahime really doesn't interest me all that much. I feel like it would be weird for me to watch Yashahime after not watching or enjoying Inuyasha. It would be kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of like, I'm kind of into this idea of, like, them rebooting all these animes, but, like, with the children of, like, the previous characters. I don't know, I think that's funny to me. Like, they're like, we're not gonna, like, continue this or make, like, a branch-off series. We're just gonna, like, this is their kids, like, 20 years later. That's funny to me, I don't know why. Yeah, that's what I mean, is, like, some of the shows are the ones with no payoff, like Devilman Crybaby. Like, it just works for Devilman Crybaby. But, like, with Shield Hero, I'm like, this better start getting better at some point, instead of everybody just, like, dumping on the main character. Like, eventually, and see, like, the thing with Devilman Crybaby is it's set in a universe where, like, when that bad stuff's happening, like, that's just an accepted fact of the situation and what's going on. So it makes sense that when the bad stuff happens, like, it's like, okay, this makes sense that the bad stuff is happening because that's what we have been conditioned to expect as an audience. But with Shield Hero, I spent, like, the first 4 episodes just, like, why is everyone just relentlessly dumping on this main character? He's done nothing to deserve this. That's why ReZero is one of my favorite animes, is because it's a generic isekai. But the thing about it is the main character, Subaru, he's a garbage person. And, like, people acknowledge that. People don't like him. Like, he's a garbage person who does garbage things. And that doesn't just work out for him. He has to change as a person in order to overcome that. And he has to he can't just have, like, generic shonen protagonist armor. He has to, like, stop being a trash person to, like, be able to accomplish his goals. And that's one of the things that I like about ReZero, is that it, even though it is kind of in this gift wrap of a stereotypical isekai kind of horror anime, Subaru is not coddled by the normal, like, shonen tropes where, like, no matter what he does, everyone just fawns over him and loves him. All of his relationships with characters, even the strained ones, are, they're earned. He earns his relationships with people. Even if it's a bad relationship, he earns that through his actions, whether it's, like, making someone upset with him and then being mad and not talking to him and stuff like that. Like, he earns everything. And that's one of the reasons I like it so much, is it doesn't just be like, yep, well, he's the shonen hero, so everyone's gonna like him eventually. He has to actually personally make changes in order for people to accept him. And that's one of the things I really like. Whereas with Shield Hero, he never does anything wrong, ever, which I'm not faulting him for that. He's just a dude. And he doesn't do anything overtly great either, but he's, like, not, like, bad. He's not a trash person like Subaru. But yet everybody just relentlessly dumps on him from the beginning. And maybe it's explained later in the series, but as far as I am right now, like, they just seem to, like, dump on him for no reason. And it's like, I feel like they're gonna explain this later on, but right now it's just frustrating because I don't know why everybody is just constantly dragging this dude through the mud. And I guess in a way, to Shield Hero's credit, maybe that's part of the experience because we're supposed to be living vicariously through him, and he doesn't know why they're doing it, so we're not supposed to know why they're doing it either. But, like, it's right now I feel like trash watching it because I'm like, I I hate that this is happening, and I want something good to happen, and it does. I mean, there are bits and pieces where good things happen, like Rapthalia and stuff like that. But like, it just feels like a chore. Which, to be fair, watching Devilman Crybaby is an emotional chore. It is a huge chore. Talk about an anime. Oh my god, we were talking earlier about what anime makes you cry. I ugly cried through like most of Devilman Crybaby. I just, whoops, I'm standing now. I just ugly cried the entire time. Now I'm sitting on the floor, but that's fine. But yeah, between, well, again, I don't really want to go into spoilers, but like, between the, we'll just say the deaths in Devilman Crybaby and the I don't want to say bad guys, just the circumstances and the tragedies are the better way to put it. Between the deaths and the tragedies in Devilman Crybaby, it is just like relentlessly devastating in every episode. There's no break from it, and it's just so draining. It's so draining after a certain period of time. Like, I couldn't watch it in all one sitting. I had to like take it in chunks. But yeah, like it is just an emotional toll. Oh yeah, okay, so there is I figured that in Shield Hero, eventually they'd explain that someone is to blame, and it's not just like Malty or like people just being garbage for the sake of being garbage. Like, there's a reason eventually why things are happening the way that they are. I figured that. It's just that getting there. Like, but that's what I was saying when I was watching it. I was talking to the person I was watching it with, and I was like, I feel like there's definitely going to be a payoff, right? But the thing about it is, like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna give up on this series before they ever get there, because it's just too, like, I don't know, draining to get to that point. A lot of people are gonna be like, I don't like watching this. This feels bad. I don't want to do this anymore. And they'd probably give up on it. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Have I played any Yoko Taro games? If they're called that, then no. But if they have like a different name, then maybe. I've never played anything called not called Yoko Taro. So unless that's like the name of the person who created them and they're called something else, then no, I don't think so. I watched and played recently Corpse Party and Corpse Party 2, which that was quite the the experience. That is quite it was something. It sure was something. Oh, I did play Nier Automata, but Nier Automata, I think I said this on my Twitch stream, when somebody asked me if I'd played Nier. Nier has this thing where me as a person, I just, like, I can't deal with it. It is like a personal shortcoming, but I cannot handle the fact that there's like a permadeath thing in the very beginning, because that prologue is like an hour and a half long, and I made it to like 90 minutes in, and then I died, and then I had to start all over again, and I was like, nope, not gonna do it. I already put in all this time and all this energy. I am not gonna do it again. So I guess this is as far as we're gonna get Nier Automata, because I am not doing this prologue again. Which makes me sad, because I really liked the aesthetic and the game. But the fact that it didn't keep any of my progress, and I had to start all the way over because I died in that big first boss fight, I hated that. So I quit, and then I never touched it again. But that's my only That is my only, I don't know how to describe it, my only interaction with that game. I've never played Drakengard, though. Sorry, I've had the sniffles really bad. I don't know. I don't think I posted about it on YouTube. But earlier this week, I had a COVID scare. I had to go get tested. I did come back negative, which is good. And my whole life is quarantining anyway, so I never leave my house. But it was scary because I was sick at the beginning of the week. Aw, thank you, Hunter Rose. That's very sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, that's such a cute sticker, too. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Do I play horror games? Yeah. In fact, I played a game on Twitch not that long ago. It was earlier this week. It was actually the day. It was kind of crazy because, like, I think it was last Sunday I was playing it, maybe. You can hear it. We played through a whole horror mystery game, part of the Rusty Lake series. And, like, if you watch the VOD, you can tell about 4 hours in that I start feeling really sick. And I start getting, like, really, like, I get really testy. Because it's a puzzle-solving game. It's a puzzle-solving horror game. And I start to get really testy, and I'm getting really frustrated at all the puzzles. And, like, my head, because my head is just pounding. Like, I have a searing headache at that point. That developed over the course of playing that game, and I was starting to get sick during that game. My head started to throb, and my back and my shoulders were starting to hurt really bad, and I could tell I was starting to get a little bit of a fever. But it's one of those games that you usually play through in one sitting. So I was trying really hard to finish it because we were more than halfway through, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna tough it out, and I'm just gonna finish it. But you can hear in the VOD that I am just so done. And by the end of it, we're on the last of the 10 trials, that I am just so exhausted, and I just want to leave. But I'm like, it would suck so bad for me just to end this, like, 20 minutes before the game actually ended. And then just nobody ever gets a resolution, because I can't just do a 20-minute stream to finish it. Yeah, the snowman did me in. I hated that. You can tell in the snowman one that I'm getting frustrated because my head is pounding and the stupid snowman puzzle didn't make any sense. And then eventually I had to just Google the answer because I'm like, I can't think straight. I feel hot. I feel clammy. I'm like, this is the worst. I just want this to be over, which sucks because I love those, like, horror puzzle games. But I was so, like, I'm like, please, let's just move on to the next puzzle. And I could not figure out the stupid snowman. But we eventually got, past it. It just took some time. Then I recommend Lost in Vivo. I'll check it out. I have some horror games in my Steam library that I want to play on Twitch. Because I do stream. I know a lot of you already know this, but, like, I do stream on Twitch every day. That's where I do my gaming content. But I do my just chatting here usually. But yeah, I do have some horror games. I've gotten back into playing Hunt Showdown, which is considered also a horror game. And I always play Dead by Daylight on my Twitch channel. And then one of my old school favorite games, I say old school, it's not that old. One of the first games I ever played on Xbox 360. So it has a special place in my heart that I do want to play on my stream soon is Alan Wake. I have it in my library, I just haven't played it. But I do have several other horror games to play on Twitch that I plan on playing soon. By the way, if you're interested, I have been streaming Dead by Daylight almost every day. Not almost every day, but at least several times a week with Erica Lenbeck and Amalie from Lee and Lee. We've all been very... I've always been into Dead by Daylight. I've been playing it for 4 years now. But they just recently got into it, so they've been streaming it with me. And so I've been teaching them the ropes of Dead by Daylight, and it's been quite the experience. I don't think Amelie has a Twitch. I don't believe so. Well, if she does, she doesn't use it very much. That may change, though, now that we're playing Dead by Daylight a lot, and we play Among Us all the time. So, She might start streaming, I'm not sure. Or she may stream on YouTube, I just don't know. But yeah, if she does have a Twitch, I don't know it. I did try to look it up the other day, because I was going to link her in my description of something. And I don't remember finding it, but she does, if she has one, she doesn't stream on there very frequently. But like I said, that might change, I don't know. Erica obviously has one, and Erica streams a couple times a week. Not quite as much as I do, but several times a week. And then eventually we'll play Phasmophobia again. Maybe with Ty Tuesday, or maybe Octo. We'll see. But yeah, I do all my gaming over there on Twitch. But this is where I do the chats. Do I know of another anime called Konohana Kitan? I have heard that name, but I have no idea what the series is or what it's about. I have heard of it, though. I was thinking there was another one that I was watching not terribly long ago. It was this year. I mean, I watched Beastars, and I liked Beastars. But it wasn't Beastars, but I think it was another Netflix anime. I can't bring it to mind right now. Trying to think. I already said Tower of God. I already said... Well, I've said Devilman Crybaby now like 7 times. Tower of God, Promised Neverland, Vinland Saga, Rising of a Shield Hero. What have I already said? Magical Girl Raising Project for like the 5th time. But it was new stuff. What new stuff have I already said that I watched? Assassination Classroom. I do remember that one. The Higurashi new series. Ooh, I watched the new Burn the Witch, the new Bleach series that came out. I really like that. I really like the vibe that it has going on. I think I might actually kind of enjoy it more than I like the original Bleach. The vibe that Burn the Witch has, I really dig it. And I like the character designs a lot. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it quite a bit. I did watch earlier this year, or maybe it was late last year, I don't remember. I watched Carol and Tuesday. I did like that quite a bit. That's kind of... I think Carol and Tuesday is more for like a specific type of anime viewer. I feel like some people who like anime don't really like slice of life animes all that much, or like drama animes all that much, like Carol and Tuesday. But I really enjoyed Carol and Tuesday. It is a little bit emotionally heavy though. I do like the Fate series. I have like I actually have like a bunch of Fate figurines on my shelves. My favorite girl is Frankie. Frankie is my bae. I love her. And I also spent like a lot of money on Fate Go. So I haven't played that game in a long time. Now I'm a Genshin gal. And I am proud to say I've not spent any money on gacha in Genshin. I have spent money in Genshin, but only to get the battle pass. I've not spent money on the gacha part of Genshin. And I've gotten just about all the characters that I've wanted from Genshin, with the exception of Diona. I didn't get Diona, which does make me sad. But I got pretty much everybody else. The only other people that like I kind of wanted, or I kind of want, because I still do, and haven't pulled, is Mona. I want Mona, and I haven't pulled Mona. But I have Sucrose, who's my current best girl, and Barbara was my first best girl. And I love Ganyu. I love Ganyu so much, and she is gonna be a playable character soon. So I'm definitely gonna be trying to get Ganyu. Because she is the love of my life, and I love her. She's currently my favorite NPC, and she's gonna be my favorite playable character. And I have not yet spent money on Genshin Impact for gacha pulls, but I might. point for Ganyu if I don't pull her, cause I'll be sad if I don't pull her. Albedo looks fine. He doesn't really do much for me. He's just the dude from Chalk Zone. I don't know why more people aren't putting two and two together that Albedo's just the dude from Chalk Zone. He's even called the Chalk Prince or something. It's kind of funny. I'm personally not a Lisa fan. I don't know. She gave me weird vibes at the beginning. I like Jean. I don't know if I'd go far enough as to say that Jean's a waifu. But I like her. I'm trying to think of who else there is. Sucrose just really is my best girl. Honestly, I just love her so much. I just love her with all of my heart. Same with Barbara. I think Sucrose has eked out just a little bit ahead of Jean. Or not Jean. Of Barbara. I do like them. I'm trying to think of my people. Oh, I have Catching as well. Catching and Fischl. I like them. I have both of them. I have Klee. I have, what else do I have? Oh, I have Baido and Ningguang. I like them. Ningguang's definitely a waifu, so is Baido. I have Razor. I have, who else do I have? Baido, Razor, Xingqi, who I have pulled Xingqi now. I've pulled Xingqi so many times, and I hate Xingqi, and it makes me very upset. I have pulled Xingqi. I think we're only one away from having Xingqi's constellation complete. We've pulled him so many times. And I'm not thrilled about that, because I hate him, and he's my worst character. I'm trying to think. I feel like I have... I feel like I'm missing a character that I have. I said Catching. I said Klee. Fischl. Barbara. Oh, Noelle! I have Noelle. I have Noelle as well. Noelle as well. Lisa's not bad. She's just like, I don't know. She just wasn't for me. I don't think she's bad. I also don't like her game mechanics. Which is why I don't use her all that much. Oh, thank you again, Hunter Rose. That's very sweet of you. I don't currently accept friend requests on Steam just because I already have so many friends on Steam, and it's really hard for me to, what's the word that I'm looking for? Or not organize, but like it's hard for me to sift through them when I'm trying to like play with specific people, because everybody has really silly names, which I do too. But it's really hard for me to like go through my list and find the right people. So right now I've purged everybody from my Steam friends list to this, and somebody that I know personally or somebody that I play games with, like on the regular. That way, I can find everybody easier. Yeah, I've not watched Black Clover yet. I watched the first episode, and it didn't seem bad. I was just like, I've just seen a bunch of animes like this already this year. It's the same reason I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen yet. I'm like, I've already watched so many animes that are like this year. I don't know if I have the emotional currency to watch another one. You know what I mean? I know Baido is such a waifu. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, though. I feel like I have a character that I keep forgetting. I don't have Zhongli. I don't have Child, who I hate with every fiber of my being. I don't have Chi-Chi. I don't have the rocker girl, whose name I don't know. I don't have Bennett. I don't have Chongyun. I don't have Mona. I don't have... Who's on the banner with Zhongli? It's Zhongli, the rocker girl. Is Xinyan's the rocker girl, isn't she? I think so. I don't have Diona. If Xinyan's the rocker girl, then I don't have her. She's the one that I don't have. I guess that's everybody that I don't have. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, I don't have Diluc. I don't have Diluc. Yeah, I hate Child, especially because of his stupid, I hated him the most because I played his boss battle the first day it came out before they nerfed it, and it was the worst. It was the literal worst. But then they nerfed it, so now everybody has an easier time beating it, but I beat it when it was the worst, so I'm a little bit jaded. That was the first reason I hated Child, and then that stupid side quest where you have to, like, escort his little child's child brother. What was his name? He has a dumb name, too. His little brother has the dumbest name. I want to say Rupert, but it's not Rupert. It's something stupid. Oh god, what is it? It's something really dumb. But his stupid little brother with his stupid name, you have to, like, and he's just as annoying as his big brother. And you have to escort him around, and Child's like, here, will you babysit my brother? And I'm like, no, I hate you. And he's like, well, will you do it anyway? And I'm like, no, I hate you. And they're like, well, you gotta do it if you want to finish the main story. And I'm like, but I really hate everything about this. And they're like, too bad, it's part of the main storyline. If you want to get the primogens, you gotta do it. And I'm like, I guess I will. And it, oh, Tooser, his name was Tooser, which is awful. Yeah, Tooser and Child were the worst experience of this game so far. And I'm really glad that it's over. Every time I pulled on the Child banner, I just prayed that I didn't get Child because I hate him so much, and I honestly don't think that I could emotionally deal with potentially having him on my team. I would just have to throw him off of the cliff like 100 times in a row. I don't think I would be able to handle it. It would overwhelm me. The need to throw Child off of a cliff would just overwhelm me every time. Although, this new character that they showed in the cutscene of one of the newer events, Scaramouche, he looks like he's gonna be awful. So, we'll see. He might end up being more awful than Child. It's just gonna depend. We will see, I guess. I think he's coming out in the one, that, Ganyu and... what's his name? Albedo. I think they're coming out in that chapter, I believe. But yeah, Child, aka Tartaglia, is the worst, and I hate him, and I really hope he's not relevant to any stories in the future, because I hate him so much. Ghost Runner? I have not played Ghost Runner. I have not. Ugh, my nose is so stuffy. I wish it wasn't, but it is. Ghost Runner sounds fun. It sounds like Death Garden, which was Behavior, which is the company who makes Dead by Daylight. It was their first-person shooter game, which I personally enjoyed, but apparently it was so unpopular they eventually made it free to play, and then they just shut down the servers because nobody would play it. I loved Death Garden, and I thought the idea of it was really, really cool, and just nobody played it. It made me very sad. Everybody likes Dead by Daylight instead. I don't know, I guess people who play Dead by Daylight probably aren't the same demographic who want to play, like, a first-person shooter, so maybe that was the problem. Is that, like, because most of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Most of, like, the, publicity, quote-unquote, or, like, the eyes that were put on Death Garden, like, the things that... the visibility. Most of the visibility for Death Garden was... from the Dead by Daylight player base, because everyone's like, oh, it's Dead by Daylight with guns. And then, like, I think that player base played it and was like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be. And then it just ends up not being not being good for them, and then I think that's why it died, is because they, like, I feel like Behavior didn't really take the time to promote it to channels or audiences outside of the Dead by Daylight community, because they already had such a big player base with Dead by Daylight. They're like, oh, if people like this game, then they'll probably like Death Garden. So they didn't really bother trying to promote it to other, like, player bases. They didn't do, like, any advertising campaigns or anything. And then the Dead by Daylight community played it, and they were just like, this isn't at all what I thought it was. And then just nobody played it anymore, which is sad. Well, thank you for stopping by, Hunter. I appreciate it. I will try to do these at least a couple of Sundays a month. Maybe I might do some on Saturdays instead of Sundays. On my Twitch channel, Saturdays are catter days, so I use my cat, my Neko avatar instead of my regular avatar. So I'll I'll maybe do a couple catter days over here. But I appreciate you stopping by, Hunter. Thank you. I plan on doing like a little just chatting for like an hour or so. Like I said, at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Just whenever I can. This has been a really busy week for me because, like I said, at the beginning of the week, I was sick, and then that was a whole thing. I had to go get tested for COVID. It was just like, ugh, it was kind of a really bummer of a week. And then by the time I was feeling well enough to start doing stuff again, I had to like get caught up on a bunch of work, and then I had to like edit a bunch of videos, and yeah, it was just, it was a lot to deal with this week. But I did want to do a just chatting stream before the holidays picked up. That way I could interact with you guys, because I didn't do one last week. It's probably for the best though, because last Sunday was the day that I started to get sick, and I don't know if I would have made it through my Twitch stream if I had streamed earlier in the day. So I guess it kind of ended up working out for the better, for both me and for you guys, because I don't think I would have been up to it. And that would have been sad. Spiders or scorpions? Neither of them really bother me all that much, honestly. I guess I dislike scorpions a little bit more because they sting, and I'm really allergic. I know they're not the same thing, but I'm really allergic to wasps. And I associate insects with stingers, with wasps, whereas spiders will just bite you, and I've gotten probably hundreds of spider bites over my lifetime, and it's whatever. But scorpions I associate with stinging, and since I'm allergic to wasps, I associate being stung by a scorpion with being stung by a wasp, though I've never been stung by a scorpion, so I don't know. I don't think I'm allergic to scorpions. But spiders don't bother me all that much. In fact, when I see them in my house, I'm like, all right, you're probably just eating some bugs. It's fine. If you keep the cockroaches out or the mosquitoes, then then you're paying your rent, so to speak, and you can stay here. It's fine. I don't mind all that much. Now, my least favorite animal in the world, it's not even a little known fact. I feel like a lot of people know this about me. A well-known fact about me, I guess, is that I have a completely unfounded but very strong aversion/phobia to frogs. Frogs and toads are maybe the worst thing in the world to me. The idea, like, just thinking about a frog touching me or a toad touching me, makes me want to go to sleep and never wake up again. Like, I don't know if I can live in a world where, like, a toad jumps on me. Like, I think it would be so traumatic that, like, I don't know if I would probably need, like, years of therapy to recover. And that's not even me being, like, hyperbolic. Like, I honestly think if I was ever put in the position where, like, a big toad jumped on my lap or something, I think I would need therapy probably for the rest of my life. Like, it's not even like a fear. Like, it's hard to explain. It is a phobia. But it's not like, I don't get like fight or flight when I see frogs, if that makes sense. I am just so repulsed by frogs and toads that, like, the thought of them touching me, like, makes me physically seize up. Like, I am so averse to them. I'm not necessarily scared of them because I know, like, realistically, I know they can't hurt me, right? Like, frogs and toads can't hurt me. They're, like, a little slimy. They're kind of gross, like, whatever. But, like, there is something in my brain, in the part of my brain that like manages fear and phobias and whatnot, that's like, if this touches you, you're gonna have to just like walk out into traffic. There's like no in between. You just can't, you're never gonna recover. Like, it's not gonna hurt you, but if that touches you, it's game over. And to be honest, like, not to get too deep on a VTuber just chatting stream or anything, but some of you may know, some of you might not know, that I actually do have a pretty severe form/case of obsessive compulsive disorder. And some of you might know that with OCD, a lot of times your brain will associate like totally normal, rational things like turning a doorknob or flipping a light switch with, if you don't do this a certain amount of times, something bad will happen. And it's usually something like completely unrelated. And I think that since I do have obsessive compulsive disorder, that maybe the part of my brain that tells me that bad things will happen if I do or don't do stuff, maybe also applies to frogs somehow. Like, oh, if you let that touch you, like, it's game over. Like, bad things will happen. And I haven't figured it out for certain, because I've never let a frog or a toad touch me. But I feel like my brain would just be like, this is it. Like, you can't live in a world where a frog has touched you. Like, it's over. I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but like seeing pictures of frogs and stuff like that's always like so annoying to me. When I tell people that like I just tell people I have a phobia of frogs because that's the easiest way to explain it. But it's not a true fear of frogs, so to speak. But when I tell people that I hate frogs, or like I am repulsed by frogs, or like I'm afraid of frogs, like their first reaction is always to try and send me frog pictures. And I'm like, bro, like, I don't care. Like, frog pictures, like, yeah, like, I'm like, ew, gross. Like, it's whatever. But like, I'm not afraid of frog pictures. I'm afraid of a frog or a toad touching me, or being like in my presence, or being within the vicinity that a frog or a toad could touch me. Like, I don't care about Froppy from My Hero Academia. She's not a real frog. Like, it's not, people think it's so funny to like, I don't know, like send me frog pictures or like ask me about like Froppy and stuff. And I'm like, that's not the same thing, man. Like, I'm not afraid of like the idea of frogs. I'm afraid a frog is gonna touch me. Like, it's a very, very specific thing. Being within, it's the same with, I also have a very similar, I would say this one is a fear, because it does spark a fight or flight. I do have a similar fear of balloons, because I am afraid of them popping. Not because I'm like, oh no, like, oh, a balloon popped, like, oh, so startling. But because like when a balloon pops or there's any loud noise like that, it immediately triggers my fight or flight, and it's always fight, never flight. So I'm just immediately angry, and I get like this surge of adrenaline, and I just get so angry. And being around balloons is so stressful and so like tense, because at any time, any of those balloons could just pop. And that's so stressful for me. So I'm afraid of balloons because of that. Because I'm like, they could pop at any time. Helium balloons isn't the same, because helium balloons don't typically pop. But air-filled balloons, I'm like, nope, can't do it. Don't want to be around them. No, thank you. Would I eat a frog? Yeah, I've had frog legs. Like, I don't have to worry about that frog touching me, so it's not an issue. But like, by the way, I don't like frog legs. It was not good. The one that I had was not good. But yeah, like being around like frog pictures, people wearing frog shirts, whatever, that doesn't bother me. Like, it's literally just, is there a frog close enough that it could hypothetically come towards me and touch me? Then it's a problem. If not, then it's not really a problem. Like, it's just a weird thing. It's just a weird association my brain has with it. I would say, I don't know, I don't think frog legs tasted like chicken. I love seafood. And to me, frog legs tasted like the worst part of fish and the worst part of chicken. Like that, you know, that bit of the chicken meat that's kind of like a dark gray color, and it's like right by where like a tendon would be. It was like the flavor of that really gamey piece of chicken, with like the fishiest fish you could possibly taste. And that's why I didn't like it. It was like, this is like the worst parts of like the worst parts of two different kinds of meats. Like, I am so not into this. I do like alligator though. Alligator I very much so enjoy. If I was trapped in a place like Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, what would I do? Honestly, probably just die. I'm good in high pressure situations, but I'm not great with critical thinking skills. So I would probably just be like, you know what, just eat me. Like, just shove me in one of the suits, man. Like, it's over. My will to live's not that strong. Just end it. Just put me in a suit and let me be a robot. I don't care. I think, honestly, my association with balloons, I think that's because I remember when I was a kid, like a little kid, like maybe, I don't know, like 3 or 4, they used to make us play this game, like this relay race game, where we had to, like, pass a balloon. Like, it would be a line of people, or a line of kids, rather, and, like, the first person would turn around and put the balloon against their back, and then the next person would turn to have their back, like, facing that person, and they'd be, like, back to back, and they would have to hold the balloon, and then they would have to, like, rotate around, and the next person in line would have to take the balloon from them, and then when it would get to the end, the person at the end of the line had to, like, sit on the balloon and pop it, and it was a race. And I think being forced to pop a balloon, I think that, like, scarred me. I think that, like, really ruined the balloon experience for me. I know that's, like, a weird thing to say, but, like, I think that and other games that I was forced to play where we had to pop balloons, I think really, really messed with me. Really, really changed my association with balloons, so to speak. You don't like needles? I used to be... Okay, I'm not afraid of, like, needles in general, because I have tattoos. But, like... And I've gotten, over the years, since I have, like, some medical conditions, I've had to become okay with needles. But, like, I've gotten to the point where I'm, like, I'm not, like, happy by any stretch of the imagination, but I can give blood samples pretty okay. It's not a great experience. I'm not, like, psyched to do it when I have to do it. But I can, like, get through giving blood. It's getting shots that's a huge deal for me. And I think it's because, like, when you give blood, like when you give a blood sample, they're taking something out of you. Whereas when they're giving you a shot, something is going into your body, and if you have like a reaction to it or something, it's like in there. There's nothing you can do about it. And that really freaks me out. It gives me like a very like claustrophobic feeling. And I cannot hang with that. That freaks me out so bad. So when I have to get shots, it's still an issue. Giving blood, I don't love it, but I can deal with it. Getting shots is still a horrible, an ordeal every time. The last time I got a shot that wasn't a flu shot, because the flu shot's like nothing. You like hardly even know what's happening. But like the last time I got like a shot, I almost whited out. I was so scared. My vision, like, whited out. I was sweating. I was just pure, like, terror. I was just abject horror because I had to get a shot. There's a shot in my butt, too, which was, like, the worst. It was not a great... I think it was a steroid shot because I was having an allergic reaction to something. And, that was not fun. Weird fun fact, also, the nurse, like, kind of jacked up giving me the shot in my butt. It wasn't, like, on my butt. It was, like, right where your lower back, or I guess it's kind of, like, in between where your lower back, the small of your back, and your hip is, right above where your butt cheek starts. Whatever that part of your body is called. She gave me my shot there, but I guess she didn't go far enough, like, into the skin. She didn't, like, cross all the layers of skin she needed to cross to give me a shot. And, like, this is the weirdest thing, but I swear it's real, and it happened. but it caused, like, a couple of weeks later, for like a year, it was like this. It caused that part of my body, whatever that's called, to like sink in, to like, I don't, like waist, I guess. Like it just like made an indentation. And it was, I kid you not, it was the shape of a heart, like the perfect shape of a heart. And like you could see, sometimes even if I was just wearing like leggings instead of pants, it was so pronounced that you could see a heart shape like right above my butt because of the indent. And I'm like, well, I guess I have this permanent cutie mark on my butt now. Thanks, lady who gave me a shot. And when I told the doctor about it, they're like, oh yeah, sometimes that happens. It'll be fine. And I'm like, I've worked in medicine since I was 16, and I have literally never, ever in a million years heard of this being a thing. And they're like, it'll be fine. Eventually it did come back, but like, I just, like, you could run your hand over it and feel a heart-shaped indentation on my butt. And I guess I just got lucky it was heart-shaped, because usually it's just like a divot, like a big golf ball-sized, like, dent. But for me, it was heart-shaped, ironically, and I'm like, I guess I have a cutie mark. It's the worst. That was the last shot I had to get, and admittedly, that's probably another reason why I'm not a big fan of getting shots. It's not, like, quite in the middle of my back, so it wouldn't have been a tramp stamp. Like, it really was, like, you know how where your spine is like, the dead center? Like, if you went, like, 4 inches to the right, and then down just, like, a smidge, down, like, half an inch. Like, not quite butt cheek, but also not quite back. It was in a very strange spot. But yeah, I was panicking that I'm like, am I always gonna have this, like, hole in my butt cheek? Like, what is happening? I've never seen this happen to anybody, but yeah, like, it's just one of those things that, it's a really weird thing that happened. I'm sure it's happened to other people too, but I'm the only person I know that's ever happened to. So I just deal with it. It's just a weird story. What made me decide to be a YouTuber, or I'm sorry, not a YouTuber, a VTuber? Mostly that I lost my job, my desk job, at the beginning of the year, and so I had a lot of free time to fully dedicate to streaming all the time, because I already do make YouTube videos, and so I had time to stream all the time, and basically, if I was going to do it every day, I just don't have the emotional or physical energy to do my hair and makeup every single day for a stream, and I felt like the anime girl VTuber motif really went with my brand of being like a waifu YouTuber. And so being able to stream every day without having to do my hair and makeup or like get fully dressed. And also still meeting my like YouTube waifu aesthetic. Really worked out for me. It's a really good fit for me. Like, it kind of encompasses, like, all of the different things that I do. Streaming, gaming, anime, ASMR. Like, it's a good way for me to, like, wrap everything all into one. So, that's why I decided to do it. And now, like, I started doing it at the beginning of the year, and, like, now there's like so many people getting into it, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like now it's like this big huge thing, and like even big mainstream people are getting into doing it, and I think it's cool. I think it better suits some people better than others, especially if like you were already like, I don't know how to describe it, like if you were already kind of branded as something else, and not really in the anime sphere. I think it's a little bit weird if you get into VTubing. But if what you were already doing kind of has a pretty big overlap with the anime and VTuber and gaming community, then I feel like it's not that weird. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's rough, Connor. I still remember going back to reasons why I hate needles. I had a dentist back when I was a teenager who was a bit of a D-bag, and I told him I've always gotten my cavities filled without Novocaine because I'm scared of the needles in my mouth. And I told him I didn't want Novocaine. He'd always been accommodating of that previously. And then one time I'm like, I don't want the needle because there was like a really big one in the back of my mouth that he was gonna have to drill. And I'm like, I have a high pain threshold. Like, I'll just deal with the pain. I don't really want the anesthetic. And he's like, that's fine, that's fine. And then he's like, okay, open up your mouth so I can see back there. And then he legitimately tricked me and then gave me a shot in the back of my mouth. And I'm like, first of all, I'm pretty sure that's a violation of my rights. Like, I told you I didn't want a thing done to me and you did it to me. So I'm pretty sure that's not a good thing that you just did. But by that point, he had already put the shot in my mouth, so it was too late, and I was like, whatever, I guess. And that really put me off going to the dentist. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been vaxxed since, not to that one, obviously. But that really put me off getting stuff done to my teeth. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was pretty bad. Yeah, and, like, they do it with kids, but, like, I wasn't a kid. I was a teenager. I was, like, 16 or 17. But they'd always, like, not acknowledged, accommodated my wishes before. They were like, all right, you want to be drilled without Novocaine? Like, that's fine. It's gonna suck, but will you, if you want to do it, then that's up to you. Like, whatever. But they'd always, respected my wishes. And never given me the shot. But then when he tricked me and gave me the shot, like, no. Was not a big fan. Oh, thank you, Space Voyager. I appreciate that. Ugh, my nose is so stuffy. Yeah, I never saw that dentist again after that. Also, like, this is kind of unrelated, but, like, another gripe I had about him is he was like an older dude, and like he had unnaturally like chubby fingers. He had real big like sausage fingers, and like he was like, it was a struggle for him to like root around in my mouth to get stuff done because he could barely fit his like a little sausage fingers in there to like take care of stuff. But I lived in like a super tiny town of like 200 people, so he was like the only dentist for like 100 miles, and so he was really the only choice. It was when I moved out at like 17 or 18 that I found my own dentist in the city. I do not miss it. Yeah, I've had my share because I've spent plenty of times in doctor's offices and hospitals throughout my life. I've had my fair share of medical professionals be bad. I have definitely encountered them, especially since I worked in medicine for like the longest time, over a decade. But like, more often than not, people are not that bad. You come across the ones who like are awful way less frequently than you do the people who are just doing their job or like trying to help people. They're not nearly as the bad ones are not nearly as common as the good ones when it comes to healthcare professionals usually. How do you make V2 avatars? I recommend looking up a tutorial. I am not the person to ask because I have just been winging it from day one. There are so many VTuber tutorials on YouTube, and that's what I followed to do mine. And so that's where I always guide people to, because I am not the person to ask for advice, because I just wing it every day of my life. Every day of this VTubing thing has just been pure trial and error on my part. I can't even remember the names of the people who do the things, but if you literally just look up like how to be a YouTuber, or I'm sorry, not a YouTuber, a VTuber, like the first result literally tells you how to make an avatar and use it just like mine. And that's the one that I followed. It's really as simple as that, unless you want to get really intricate and like get a live 2D model, which I don't even have a live 2D model. Like the ones from HoloLive use, then it's really just as simple as looking up how to be a VTuber and then downloading the links from the description page. And of course, like having some of the equipment, like the camera and microphone and whatnot. But other than that, super, super easy. Oh, I just realized, I'm out of water. But that's okay. I'm gonna have to wrap this stream up anyway, because I gotta get ready for my Twitch stream. I might play Genshin on Twitch. If you want to watch me play video games, I do play on Twitch. I try to keep my video game content over there and my chatting content over here, though. But yeah, if you want to watch me play video games, I will be streaming on Twitch. I stream on Twitch pretty much every single day. But yeah, that's where I'll be later this evening. I'm going to take a short break in between this stream and that stream so I can get everything set up. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Like I said, I'm going to try and do this at least twice a month on Sundays or on Saturdays. It'll just depend. But I will try to hang out with you guys so we can do some just chatting streams, like hanging out with you guys, like chatting with you guys. Oh, thank you, Benjamin. That's very kind of you. Very sweet of you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated. I'll try to like make some notation of like when I am gonna go live. So just keep your eyes on the community tab or on Twitter or anywhere else, or just look for notifications. I don't know how notifications on YouTube work, so I don't know if you guys get notifications or not. But if you do, I will see you guys in the next stream. Like I said, just keep your eyes out. I'll try to do it on Sundays. So I will see you all, I'll see you all next time.